typically like to get in the classroom a few times a week just to check on everything. Obviously, when I'm here with the students, I'm here, 5 days a week. But it's, we're off for the summer right now, and so I got to get in here on my own and get some work done. But you can see, even though I've been out of here a little longer than I typically like to be, the plants are looking pretty good. I soaked them pretty well. Like I said, I've had a little bit of help, but for the most part, they got a deep soak about 2 weeks ago, and they've been doing good ever since. Obviously, the aquaponic systems are continual flow, so they've been continuously flowing as long as the power's been on. One thing that I do need to have done with them is about once a week at least, the fish need to be fed. And the water, as you can see, is kind of getting low, and I've even added some more, but over time the water needs to be replaced. And so that's why about 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks is probably about as far as I could go before the systems require a little bit of support on my end. So you can see we still got to finish the mosaic, but like, look, the plants are doing pretty darn well. So a lot of different varieties of house plants in there, drossenas, pothos, a lot of different varieties. That we got some snake plants, some spathiphyllums. So let me show you my other system here. You can see we got some gear ready. Look at this ficus inside the classroom. Boom. Look how tall it is. It's almost to the roof. So we'll have to come back and take a look at that ficus to see how tall it'll be by the time school starts. Kind of looking forward to that. But you can see this system's looking pretty hardy as well. It's done doing okay. The one thing that it needs is an algae eater, and that's mainly just for just aesthetics and cosmetic purposes. That way we can look in there and see these fish having fun, because there's actually quite a bit in there. You can kind of see them hiding behind that algae. And so if we can get a pleco or some other algae eater variety of fish in there, it'll clean this tank up lickety split, and so it'll look just like other tanks where they're nice and clean windows. But not looking too bad. You can see maybe our next video or coming up, we'll divide and conquer this one. We'll propagate this Drossena, this dragon plant right here, a little dragon tree. Cloning station there, still doing fine. All the plants here are doing pretty darn well. Like I said, even at a distance, you can see the aquaponic system's looking hardy. Here's our worm tea brewer system. That's always fun to use. We haven't used it for a while because we've been gone, but once we get back into session, we'll have the students get that rip roaring. We'll get some worm castings in there, and then life will be good. All right, so you can see that here's our first system that we built, and it's actually still been doing really well. The water was a little low when I came in, but not enough to harm the fish, just lower than I typically like to have it. But you can see this one is just growing super duper lush. Look at the dumb cane, it's just growing up through the metal wire there, and this is actually, it's getting pretty thick and full. I threw a couple plants in there. There were some new varieties of plants that I've had, and they're actually doing quite well. Like I said, these plants have gone unattended for several weeks now, and they're just kicking butt. The fish are doing all the work. Really, you just got to feed them and make sure that their system is doing well, and then the plants end up doing really well off of them, right? And if you want to learn more about that, I've got a lot of videos on aquaponics. Feel free to take a look, maybe learn a little something. If not, maybe you can teach me something as well. If you have more experience, I would love to learn from you. Yeah, that's what I would love. If you have more experience, I would love to learn from you, because that'd be great. There's always more to learn, lots more to learn. I barely know anything. I want to know a lot more. But you can see here's our aquaponic, or actually hydroponic tower, an organic hydroponic tower, where we use organic solution, nutrient solution, and it's doing pretty well. The one bummer part for this one is the spider plants in here just don't get enough light to really kick butt. Whereas the other plants in here, like the snake plant, the spathiphyllum, they don't mind in the pothos. They can do pretty well in low light. I feel like that spider plant, even though it's got full of nutrition, lots of oxygenated water, it's just not doing as well as the other plants around it. Just specifically because it just requires a bit more sunshine for it to do really well, in my opinion. Like, I've just noticed them struggling. So you can see there's the classroom from the corner, right? So you can see it's ready for students. I cannot wait for summer. Well, actually, I mean, I love them summer, but I cannot wait for students to be back in the classroom learning a little bit. And I apologize if the image isn't of perfect quality. I need to upgrade. It'd be nice to, yeah, like, share, subscribe. That'd be great, yeah. The more folks we can get in here to support the channel, maybe one day I can get some better equipment, better audio, better camera. But until then, we're stuck with these wonderful images. But you can see up here, we got some ficus doing really well. Basically I spent the last hour or so just soaking every last potted plant in here. The ones that weren't in the aquaponic or hydroponic systems or aeroponic cloning systems. Anything other than soil needed to get watered. You can see a lot of monstera up there. I'm getting those nice and big. I sold so many last year that I only had a few left, and these were the remaining ones that I was able to kind of limp along as small cuttings, and now they're actually got quite larger to this point. And today I noticed they're actually starting to put off some new terminal growth, which is great to see, because I'll be able to take clones of them cuttings, and then we'll propagate more to give away and sell, and to have for the students and our plant sales and whatnot. But yeah, I just wanted to show off the classroom a little bit. Even though it's the middle of summer, students haven't been in here for quite a while, but I tried to leave it when we ended school. I tried to make sure everything was, you know, growing and kicking buns, and just guess what? Everything is doing killer over the summer. We've fertilized, we've watered. It's nice. It's a nice temperature in here for house plants. It's basically maybe high 70s, low 80s, and it's just, the plants are starting to thrive, I believe. I mean, look at these ones right here. They're growing down to the ground. I'll have to take some more cuttings of those as well. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you did, please like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, because we'd like to share this kind of stuff with other folks and have more friends to build the garden army with, I guess, so to speak. But until next time, happy gardening, best wishes. Never stop growing, y'all.